our last match on the programme today is the one that drew the biggest crowd of the day. 55,000 people going to St James's Park to watch Newcastle against Sunderland. Our commentator there was Jeff Thomas. The pictures come from Tyne Tees Television, and Newcastle United are in the striped shirts.
Right into Montgomery's chest. Now Tuart. And Kerr runs onto it. Baker's free on the left. What will Kerr do? Well, he had three choices there. He could have come over to Hughes, who was free on this side. He could have shot and he could have gone to Baker. Sinclair now. Sinclair doing a lot of work, playing a very, very handy game in that number 11 shirt. Robson nearly coming unstuck there with Gibb. Pushed up by Craig for Davies, and Davies trying to flick it on. So it's Dyson. I think from Heslop, Dyson the shooter, and I think that one came off Brian Heslop's head as he went to cover it and left Jim Montgomery with absolutely no chance at all. So, Newcastle United are ahead 1-0.
And Sunderland were struggling still more in the second half.
Moncur reading that one extremely well, and in comes Owen. Play on, says Mr. James, and Moncur's followed up well. Dyson's in there for it. Dyson missed it. Davies! Davies has scored! Well, Moncur pushed it across. Dyson missed it the first bite, but Wyn Davies, steaming upfield behind him, had little trouble in beating Montgomery for the second goal to Newcastle. Arontoff now taking it. Sinclair, who passed it to him, moving right into the box. He's had plenty of time to get up there. There's the ball looking for Davies. And straight into Montgomery, and Montgomery straight into the net. And there's no doubt that Wyn Davies connected with Montgomery after he had taken the ball. And there's trouble in the goal area. Wyn Davies being ushered away by his players. Len Ashurst taking him away. And Wyn Davies saying, well, it wasn't as serious as that, fellas. But Jim Montgomery still flat on his back. Had definitely taken possession of that ball before Wyn Davies actually made contact. And Mr. James, the referee, is calling for Wyn Davies. He wants to have a word with him. And the Sunderland players visibly upset by this. I don't think Mr. James has the book out. Perhaps he has the book. Indeed, Davies' name, Wyn Davies' name, has gone into the book. He's also talking to Gordon Harris and to Colin Todd, the Sunderland skipper. Well, drama here at St James's Park in the 24th minute of the second half, with Wyn Davies bundling Jimmy Montgomery into the net and having his name taken. Davies not hurrying, Dyson in possession in midfield, Sinclair waiting on the halfway line, Arontoff going up in front of him, and Moncur coming up as nearly the whole United side has gone forward. Robson now to his captain, and Moncur for Clark, and again both full-backs up, David Craig. And Davies slipping at the last minute, and Dyson!
So 3-0 to Newcastle, and that's it for today. Charlie George, who can hit him. Oh, a great goal! Charlie George! And now we have some more action. And it comes from that really wonderful game that they had up at St James's Park, Newcastle, yesterday, when Malcolm MacDonald made his first appearance in front of the Newcastle crowd. And what an impact he made. And so it's Newcastle against Liverpool, where our commentator is Jeff Thomas. The pictures come from Tyne Tees, and Newcastle are in the striped shirts.
Trying to get that touch to MacDonald's head. MacDonald so close to it. So the red shirts of Liverpool again streaming forward. Coming up towards the 10-minute mark. Still no score. There's Keegan. And that was the big fellow Toshak going in very solidly to McFall, but Keegan so well positioned. And he certainly got a sense for it. Too far for Lloyd, and out comes Clements. So that was Smith now to Lindsay. Toshak down to the young fellow, bounced off his chest, or upper arm. Tudor. And Gibb. Keegan again. He's really got plenty of energy. And that hurt as he went down, but Toshak's got the ball, and that's what counts for Liverpool. Here's Highway. Obviously such a quick thinker and quick mover as Steve Highway. What a beautiful ball. No one there to take it, though. Not quite far enough. Emlyn Hughes, left foot. Oh, what a shot! What a shot, Emlyn Hughes. 10 minutes and 45 seconds gone as Emlyn Hughes with a cracking left foot shot. Really gave Ian McFall little chance as that ball bent over the top of the goalkeeper's head and into the back of the net. Highway. Now Gibb. Tudor. Well done for MacDonald, that. Nice bit of play by Tudor. Beautiful ball there for David Young. It's a penalty. It's a penalty, no doubt about it. David Young helped to the ground. A lovely through ball. Found Young so clearly, and when in such a beautiful, advantageous position as he was, pushed to the ground. And Mr. Farley in no doubt about that whatsoever. So Newcastle United through Malcolm MacDonald, if he's the one to take the kick, with the chance now to score what will be, if it goes in, their very first goal of the season. And remember that their opponents today, Liverpool, have already scored 7. So here's the chance now for the man we spoke about at the beginning of the programme, Malcolm MacDonald, to write his name into the book. 24 minutes and 20 seconds gone, and Malcolm MacDonald, on his debut at St James's Park, scores his first goal and United's first goal of the season. £180,000 worth of player, and from the spot he makes the scoreline read. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 1. So Liverpool back where they started now, after having made a lot of the running. Lawler. Burton. But the whistle's gone. United's free kick. Robbie Moncur, anxious to get on with it, back to McFall. And obviously calling for the throw out to Clark to open it up. Dangerous, he's off his line. Toshak could shoot, could be difficult. It's a goal! And Ian McFall might well hold his head. It's been disallowed. Well, I cannot tell you why that's been disallowed. Keegan, if anyone wants to get a goal, this is the time to get it in these last few minutes before the half-time whistle, because it's almost certain you'd go in with a 2-1 lead. Keegan appealing, and it's been given. It's been given. Frank Clark doesn't believe it. And I think it will be very interesting to see just how close to the penalty area that was when he was tripped. And how ironic that I should just be talking about somebody going to a 2-goal-to-1 lead in the closing minutes of this first half when such an incident should occur. So it's a penalty for Liverpool, with Keegan being brought down by Clark. Smith to take it. It's not in. They fall over themselves in the efforts to get to it. St James's Park goes mad, the referee whistles up, and it comes back for what looks like a free kick to the Newcastle goalkeeper, Ian McFall. Well, I've never seen so many relieved supporters at one football ground, because it was London to a brick, as they say in some parts of the world, that was going to be 2-1. So perhaps the boot now on the other foot, and United could conceivably go in with a very advantageous 2-1 lead. McDonald with the chance to make it that. There it is! And McDonald scores his second. And Newcastle accepts Malcolm McDonald, Tyneside, as a new hero. So here we go then for the second 45 minutes. That's the scoreline. Malcolm McDonald pushing back to Tommy Gibb. And Newcastle United in a happy position, but must know very, very well indeed that they can never afford to relax to a team against a team such as Liverpool. Hibbett. In comes Callaghan, the other number 11. Keegan there. McFall on his line. It bounced awkwardly for him over the line. What will it be? It's a corner. Well, McFall obviously in trouble as that ball bounced up and hit him in the face. Keegan very quick to come in and seize the opportunity and couldn't quite finish it off. So Callaghan goes over for the corner. Emlyn Hughes has words with the newcomer. Bobby Moncur looks worried, as well he might, because obviously the red shirts of Liverpool are massing yet again. Callaghan with the kick, right foot. Toshak's there. McFall not tall enough, off the line by Malcolm McDonald it was, hooked back, still in play, over the top. Well, a dramatic couple of minutes there for the defence of Newcastle United. And Ian McFall obviously a little bit upset after that ball had hit him in the face. And it looks as though it's gone for another corner on the far side, so the pressure is far from off yet. McFall's confidence can't be 100%. He's got to forget the previous incidents. Lloyd up there, McFall again slightly off balance, but Hibbett's there to rescue his side and give them that very valuable, important breathing space. There's Larry Lloyd. Liverpool very keen to come straight back with this. Now Clark. And Moncur wincing as he went down then. Here's Toshak, but Burton in front of him. Highway again. Nice bit of play by him. Beautiful weaving and turning, and McFall scrambling for it as it just slid wide. But what an entertaining 2 or 3 minutes, and Highway finished it off with that lovely run, which unfortunately for him wasn't quite accurate enough. Lloyd. Moncur. Lloyd again. Hibbett. McDonald's calling for it. Tudor's free on the right. This time he sees him. In comes Gibb to help it on its way. There goes Tudor now, number 8. This is more like it for Newcastle United. Slipped in, but not strongly enough to beat Larry Lloyd, and straight behind. And John Tudor, who's been slightly ignored, I think, out on that right-hand side. Number 7, Keith Dyson. Tommy Gibb with the corner. Up comes Ollie Burton as well, so Newcastle are bringing up all the timber. Hibbett on the edge of the box calls for it. Tudor didn't have a chance in the world of getting to that. And a Highway underneath it. Craig from behind. Back comes David Young. To Burton, who's a long way upfield and should really get back to cover at the back a bit more. Lawler to push it forward for Liverpool. Keegan again running. He's died a little in the second half, but still a very, very impressive player. Now John Toshak, Clark with time to find Hibbett. Hibbett with time to look for somebody and search them out up front. Dyson going on the right if they want to use him Tudor going forward in the middle. Now McDonald, chance! Oh, what a goal! What a goal! It's a hat-trick for McDonald. Oh, it's sensational here at St James's Park. Oh, what a home debut for Malcolm McDonald. What a beautiful goal as well. Should be Burton's ball. The free kick going against Burton for pushing John Toshak. So 30 minutes now gone in the second half, 15 to play. Liverpool down by 2 goals. Newcastle, of course, leading 3-1. And the free kick coming from a push by Ollie Burton on John Toshak. Emlyn Hughes leaving it, pushing it now. Smith, beautiful touch over by Ian McFall. Tommy Smith really letting that one go, hoping for a bit of revenge for that missed penalty and bringing the best out of the Newcastle United goalkeeper. So the corner then, as Liverpool try to continue this pressure. Thompson in a swinging ball. Lloyd obstructed. Keegan got down to it, it's in. Yes, Keegan scored it. So there he is, the man who's worked so hard for Liverpool, finally bringing it off. And it was really an opportunity missed there, as Lloyd was clearly obstructed. And Keegan saw the opportunity, got ahead to it. McDonald. Well, McDonald's got the chance now. It's one of those situations when you've got one choice. McDonald took it, and unfortunately, not only was that the result, but he missed the goal, which was wide open as well. Clements is in a bit of a state as well. McDonald still flat down. And assistance being called for. And it doesn't look very good for McDonald. I have the feeling that he was knocked stone cold, and really now is very, very groggy. Time, of course, being added. But it looks as though the end of his debut for Malcolm McDonald. What a way to come off. 3 goals to his credit, and virtually carried off the park.
So Malcolm McDonald, in fact, slightly concussed there, but he went home after the game. I suppose all Luton fans are ruining the fact that he had to go up to Newcastle, and certainly one must sympathise with Luton not having quite the finances to hold a fine player like that. And clearly, McDonald, with that wonderful old left peg of his, is going to worry quite a few First Division defences this season.
Well, just think of the pressure that was on McDonald at this point, taking his first penalty for Newcastle. I wouldn't have allowed him to take that penalty because of the pressure. And you can see how relieved he was there, but on the other hand, one can't help wondering how much that helped him to get these 2 further goals for his hat-trick. This is a beautiful bit of skill there, and it's that trusty left peg. We've seen him score these goals from Luton from that angle, and it's the power that wins. It goes straight in the middle of the goal over the goalkeeper's head, but he can't react in time because of that extra power on his left foot. Here's John Tudor, number 8 there, laying on this 3rd goal beautifully for him. A lovely little flick. He pushes it again onto that left foot, and this time he chooses his spot and slides it in the corner, the only spot that was open for him, past the goalkeeper. A really beautiful hat-trick, and there's a toothless, happy grin.
Let's have some more action now, though, and this time we go to Arsenal. They went to Newcastle yesterday as leaders of the First Division, but to a ground where traditionally they always find it very hard going. Our pictures come from Tyne Tees Television, where our commentator is Jeff Thomas, and Newcastle United, playing at St James's Park, are the team, of course, in the striped shirts.
For Arsenal. McNabb. And again, lack of cohesion and understanding on that far side by the Gunners. David Young for David Craig. Gus Smith. And Hibbett. Clark is square on his left. Making a run now. Here's Moncur for Clark. Moncur to push it up first time for Tudor. Tudor goes down and play on is called. Tudor thought he'd got himself something there. Certainly it wasn't a free kick. Young shot straight to Barnett's arms. Clark. Marinello has threatened quite a lot in this first half, but actually achieved little. Howard. And Hibbett. Donald did well to get to that, holding Roberts off. Young, Smith there now. Craig going on his right. Barraclough is also free on his right. This is Craig. Now Barraclough. Tudor's up in the area. McDonald there as well. Roberts gets into it, gets into it. Still in play with Hibbett to push it back. Smith. Just past the post, I think, from Jim Smith. And remember that Jim Smith came in for this match last year and was one of the two scorers. Arsenal had the win behind them, a short one taken quickly for Rice. Up comes Roberts. Clear it was by Craig. Now McDonald hooking it well clear. Barraclough's got two to beat, both of them behind him. McClintock is one, the other is McNabb. He's going to take them both on. Good bit of play by him, and he gets a corner out of it. So his courage, his patience rewarded there. Solo effort virtually, that one by Barraclough, taking the ball from McDonald's hook shot. So McDonald now up in the penalty area. Arsenal calling for reinforcements. There's McDonald. Now straight back to Barraclough. Now Hibbett, number 11. Sun coming out now at St James's Park. And another corner. So the fourth corner then for Newcastle United to Arsenal's one in this first half. So in the penalty area, 4-5 players on the goal line. Smith there as well. Howard missing that chance, couldn't quite get to it. It's McDonald who got it in. A really open goal deflected in there. Malcolm McDonald gets the credit. So 38 minutes then gone when Malcolm McDonald put the first score on the board. And this is how it happened. And there it is going into the back of the net and Barnett hopeless. Still got space ahead of him. For McDonald, Tudor's gone to the left. Smith is in there to that centre gap. McDonald's got 3 to beat, slips it through for Smith, but too hard. And Graham. Wall of red shirts forming around McDonald every time he gets it. This is Marinello. Clark's after him. Good run by the Scot. McFall nearly caught by that near post. Bradford. Ball is there. Marinello is still there. Chips it back, looking for Kennedy. This should be a chance. Now Kennedy. It must be. And that one really was on the cards from the time Marinello took it down there the first time. Pushed it across. John Radford couldn't do anything. And then the second time. And as Ray Kennedy picks it up, you can see he's got all the time in the world. And there it is as he pushes it past McFall for the equalising goal. 8.5 minutes gone then. Tudor. And here's Hibbett. Yes, it could be. It's not quite. But a good effort by the little fellow. That ball swirling away and then over the top as as Barnett desperately lunged at it. A good effort that from Terry Hibbett, still looking for his first goal of the season. Young, not realising he had space and time. Now MacDonald, quickly away by Roberts. You don't give this fellow a second chance. There's Roberts. Welsh international, of course, played for Swansea City and Northampton Town before joining Arsenal, where he's now transfer listed. Malcolm MacDonald with the throw. Roberts, number 6. Clark coming in. Clark still to score his first goal for United. Would love to do it, of course, on his 300th game and his birthday. Craig, and a good shot, it's in! David Craig scores for a second time in a week. 32.5 minutes gone. David Craig, the scorer. Frank Clark was in there, and then it came loose to David Craig. And look at that shot fly into the net. And so there it is to make Newcastle United 2, Arsenal 1.
So I think really, in all fairness, you've got to set that mistake by Jeff Barnett against the very good games that he's had for Arsenal so far this season. Let's have some more action now. It's Newcastle against West Ham at St James's Park, Newcastle. A match that was covered by Tyne Tees, and their commentator is a face and a voice that I'm sure you'll all remember, Kenneth Wolstenholme. And it's nice to see Ken back on the scene again.
Well, thank you very much, Brian. It's nice to be back in this hotbed of soccer, but the only people who don't seem pleased that I am back are the little gremlins who go around putting the weather here and there. Last night when I tried to fly up, they put little pockets of fog everywhere, so I had to have a long journey and get here at 2:15 in the morning. And now it's misty, a bit drizzly, and it really looks like a November day and not August 31st. But I'm sure we're going to see a great game between Newcastle United, who've been playing really well this season despite giving away quite a few goals, and West Ham United, whom we can always rely on to provide good opposition to anyone. And the drizzle and mist I talked about has now turned to 100% rain. And now MacDonald. Well, I don't care who you support. That's the sort of football we like to see. Malcolm MacDonald. Number 5, Taylor. Best to McDowell. Paddock. Lock to McDowell. West Ham just getting to the ball a wee bit quicker than United. That was the case. Those people who say ban the back pass, Terry Hibbett had no other opportunity to do anything else. McDermott with the throw. Burns. Tudor, and he's done it! And that was a perfect pass from Mickey Burns, worth every halfpenny of £170,000, and Tudor just getting way on the far side, showing what a great opportunist he is. The West Ham defence caught right out of position. Tudor unmarked, he just stole round the back of them. 1-0 after 5 minutes for Newcastle. Best. And a foul. That, I think, the first foul of the match. Free kick going to be taken by McDowell. Patton. Oh, that was almost the equaliser. Graham Patton. Give it with the throw to Howard. Well, that was what they call a suicide ball. He got no chance of getting it. Cool bit of defensive work by Keeley. Patton, certainly the most impressive of the West Ham players. Now MacDonald. This is a solo match, MacDonald against Taylor. What beautiful ball to Hibbett. Hibbett having a second dip, and a penalty. Well, MacDonald's persistence, and then that lovely long centre just put West Ham's defence in a terrible tangle, and a goal or a penalty or something had to result. So it looks as if Terry McDermott is going to take the penalty kick. Day taking a bit of time getting back on his line. How about that then? Well, McDermott doesn't need anything saying to him at the moment. Best to Bonds, number 4. An attempt to bring in the overlapping fullback Coleman, unsuccessful. Number 7, Burns. MacDonald, 2-0. 24.5 minutes gone. 2-0. And certainly this man, Mickey Burns, can centre a football. It was a great pass to Tudor, which gave the first goal after 5 minutes, and that was a perfect centre right onto McDonald's head for the second.
But our last game today provides us with more marvellous goalmouth action, and for that we go to the far northeast. It's Newcastle against Chelsea at St James's Park. The match was covered by Tyne Tees. Commentator is Ken Wolstenholme, and Newcastle are in the stripes.
Hay. Garner. And that was great effort of Bill Garner. And a splendid save too by Ian McFall. Hibbett. Cannell. And he's done it. And the youngster has got another goal. So every time he comes in the first team, he pops one in the back of the net. And that was a beautifully flighted centre. Paul Cannell rising higher than the defenders, much taller men than him, and nodding the ball into the net. And Newcastle United take the lead after 50 minutes. And a foul on Cook by Clark, so it's a free kick to Chelsea. Somebody suggested that now Smith is on the same field as Charlie Cook, will need another couple of footballs. And Smith in action. Kennedy, all on his own. What a tremendous goal by this young fella. And they play him as a midfield ball winner. And that was one of the most thrilling runs I've seen all season. Alan Kennedy picking up the ball and saying, right, this is mine. You can all get off the field. I'm going right through on my own. And never even looked as if he'd do anything else but put the ball in the back of the net. Smith. Cassidy. McDonald. There's no doubt about that when Silverback gets a ball like that. And that makes it 3. Cassidy coming through with strength, winning the ball, hitting it forward to McDonald, the pass he loves, and Malcolm McDonald makes it 3-0. What a splendid ball to Natras. Barraclough's on his right. Newcastle got 5 men up. It's there from Barraclough. Well, Newcastle surging forward with 5 men in a line. One expected Barraclough to centre, and perhaps Bonetti did, because that shot from Barraclough didn't deserve a goal. Bonetti letting it slip right under his body. Well, it looks now as if both teams are just going through the motions, the remaining minute or two. Chelsea completely beaten out of sight in the second half. McDonald. This is 5, surely. And that completes
everything. The cheeky way with which MacDonald took that goal, put himself in the position, hesitated, and just said, almost said to Bonetti, where do you want it?
So Chelsea, even in those few shots there, looking quite a demoralised side at the moment, and indeed they're in a lot of trouble now. A lot of sympathy must go out to their fans and their players. Indeed, Chelsea's recent record is 1 win in the last 15 games, and that came from a penalty against the Spurs. Let's have some more action now, and for that we go to Newcastle. Put the Supermax together, Malcolm MacDonald of Newcastle and Ted McDougall of Norwich, and it's a surefire formula for goals. And so it proved to be. 7 of them coming your way now as Newcastle United take on Norwich City at St James's Park. The pictures from Tyne Tees Television. Commentator Ken Wolstenholme, Newcastle in stripes.
Kennedy with the free kick. Garlick obviously trying to get it back to MacDonald. Burns. Kennedy once again for Newcastle. And Kennedy brought down by Grapes, number 7. Tommy Craig with this free kick. And MacDonald! That was Malcolm MacDonald at his very best as the free kick came over. Malcolm MacDonald was behind the defence, came on the line side, flicked it in with his left foot. Almost half-time now, maybe a wee bit of injury time to add on. About 2 or 3 minutes left, and it's Powell for Norwich. Peters. Boyer. And a goal. It's Maguire who knocked it in. The ball seemed to trickle through Boyer's legs from the pass by Peters. The ball trickled through Boyer's legs. I thought he was going to put it in, and there was Maguire. Round at the back, knocking the ball in. A very surprised Newcastle United team. 2 minutes from half-time. Knocked back to Natchez. Burns. Gowling. Oh, and he's got it in. No, it's off the line. He's given it. It's a goal. It is a goal. A splendid goal by Gowling. Well, it looked 1,000,000 to 1 against Gowling getting that ball even across for a centre, but he hit it well. The goalkeeper went for it. Keelan, I thought he'd got it, but it trickled out of his hands, and then although it was cleared off the line, the linesman in good position to flag and signal that it was a goal. Tommy Craig, number 11, to take the free kick. No, it's Kennedy. MacDonald met that beautifully with his head. Pat Howard not very pleased with that charge from McDougall, but the referee waved play on. Forbes. Once again, the ball given away. It's now Burns for United. Natras, and he hit the post. Ooh, that was the shot of the match, the shot of the season, I would think. And the crowd rise to Natras, and even the players applauding. And Forbes is penalised for pulling back Gowling. Must say, poor old Duncan Forbes is having a dreadful match. He had a fitness test before this game, and the way things have gone wrong for him, I'm sure he wishes he'd failed it. Tommy Craig, Gowling, 3-1. Once again, the Norwich defence got flat-footed from a Tommy Craig free kick. Tommy Craig didn't look as if he was going to take it, moved up, flighted it beautifully, and with the defender standing, watching Gowling sensibly make ground, nodded it into the back of the net. And MacDonald. And he's got it! How on earth could he ever get his foot to that ball is beyond me. And that long ball straight through the middle was never on for MacDonald. But once again, slackness with this defence, and MacDonald, who won't be pushed off by anything, he just kept on going and stuck out a foot and really rammed it into the back of the net. Throw for Norwich being taken by Peters. Machin, and McDougall has got his goal. One of those strange silences now falls upon St James Park. The opposition has scored, but a good centre from Peters, and it looked to be going out, so Machin put it back, and there was Ted McDougall, already willing and able to notch his usual goal, so it's 4-2. I watch the 45 minutes are up. There's a little bit of injury time to be added on. Now it's Machin making a present of it to United. And Tommy Craig too. Number 9, MacDonald. And it's a goal! And the new boy, Dave Jones, who puts through his own goal in the very last minute, and MacDonald sent away down the left, put across the low centre. There was no Newcastle player there, but there was Dave Jones sliding towards his own goal, puts it into the back of the net, and so it's 5-2.
And both the Supermacs on target. And Malcolm MacDonald, of course, watched by Don Reeves' right-hand man Les Cocky yesterday. I'd say that Malcolm had virtually played his way into the England side for that vital game against Czechoslovakia on Wednesday week, when, of course, we're going to need the forwards who can really go at Czech defenders. Usually now we turn to your letters, but I think we'll have to hold them over for a week because we really have struck gold this week in the way of goals. As you'll see now, as we turn to Newcastle United against Derby County, played in front of a 44,000 crowd at St James's Park. The commentators Ken Wolstenholme. The pictures come from Tyne Tees Television. Newcastle are in the stripes. Hold on to your seats.
Fowler holding MacDonald. Well, this is a habit MacDonald's got into now of applauding every time a free kick is given to him. I think he might get himself into a spot of bother with one or two referees. Tommy Craig with the free kick. And it's there! down, I suppose, as an own goal, but we'll give it to Tommy Craig, and that is Newcastle's 50th goal of the season. The free kick floated across. Defender going for it, I think, got a touch. Knocked it out of Garling's reach, and also knocked it out of Mosley's reach. And so after 26 minutes, it's 1-0. And Burns breaking very quickly. Gemmell thought he got the throw, but it was given to United. That's just to Galway. And Nolte, 2-0. Taylor May. Great appeal by Derby, but they thought the throw-in should have been theirs. McFarlane's going to appeal, but when that ball came to Garland, he measured his cross absolutely perfectly, and there was Nolte behind the defender. A perfect chance to pick his spot, head the ball in. Howard and Kennedy covering him. Howard marshals the defence so well. Now Lee with the throw. There to James. Oh, and a splendid header by Powell coming behind the defender. Makes it 2-1. And as that ball came across, Nolte was waiting to head it clear, and Stevie Powell, the midfield player wearing number 7, coming behind the defender, there to knock the ball into the net in almost absolute complete silence. Kennedy, up to MacDonald. Thomas facing him, Todd in reserve, and here comes Craig, the penalty. Yes, no doubt. And no doubt about it, the leg was put right across Craig. So it's a penalty to United. Penalty, and here comes Tommy Craig. 3-1. No doubt about that penalty kick, superbly taken by Tommy Craig. Number 4 is Rioch. George. Number 12, Davis. Corner. Keeley, the man giving the corner away. Certainly Keeley has taken his comeback chance well. Gemmell, the man taking the corner. And that's a goal by George. And the corner going right across, being headed back by McFarlane, and Charlie George right on the goal line, jumping up and nodding the ball down for Derby's second goal, and it's 3-2. Davis finding James, and again the inevitable Derby attack starts. Powell to Nish. Now Gemmell. And it's there! It's Rioch who put it in. And so Derby have completed a tremendous comeback. And as the ball came across, it seemed as if the Newcastle defence could get it away, but they didn't, and Bruce Ring was the man who knocked it in. And so, with 6 minutes to go, it's 3 goals each. Everybody appealing, and the referee has given a corner kick. And Keeley up in attack. I don't think anybody could deny that Derby County, all their actions on attack, all their coming forward, deserve to have got that equalising goal. Tommy Craig. Notes one of those cheeky ones in, and there he is at long last, Superman, to put the ball in the back of the net, and it's 4-3. That's just to Kennedy. And a brilliant one from Kennedy to McDonald. Gowling in the middle. There's Gowling! Oh, it's straight at the goalkeeper. Almost incredible that could happen. Todd. Powell. George. And a great save for James, and a magnificent effort by Keeley off the line. What a football match this is. A tremendous save by Mahoney, and then an even better one by Keeley, because that was a full-blooded try.
And what a finish. We could easily have had 9 goals in that one. We got some more action now from yesterday, and it's West Ham's visit to Newcastle. West Ham won off the bottom at the start of the day, and now covered by the cameras of Tyne Tees television with commentator Kenneth Wolstenholme, West Ham are in the white shorts.
Bradford. To West Ham. Number 3 is Frank Lampard. Robson. Alan Taylor. Pike. Devonshire. Oh, and Newcastle in terrible trouble. Brooking. Pike, that's over the top. But for a moment, Newcastle were in terrible trouble. Nice to see Pike keeping his cool when the ball came out to him. He had to try the lob. Newcastle just a touch away from being a goal down. Back to Nulty. Taylor is wheeling up the meeting of Gowling, who's suffering from lack of really good support. Brooking to Devonshire. Got hit with the outside of his foot, swerving in towards Devonshire. Devonshire, great shot. That really was a beauty. That really was a beautiful shot by young Alan Devonshire. At the beginning of this season is non-league football. Gowling. Slamming up the ball in defence. Now Natras has gone down the middle. This is Natras. Barraclough in the centre-forward position. Cannell putting it across. Here comes Craig. And that one hit Devonshire. Barraclough, number 7. And is it a goal from Gowling? Yes. After 45 and a half minutes,
We're in the time added on for injuries. Gowling has put Newcastle in the lead. And that just shows you that even when you seem to be playing badly, suddenly you get the breaks. And Gowling snapping up that loose ball. It's a half a chance, knocking it into the back of the net, and that's very rough justice as far as West Ham are concerned. Brooking going to take the kick himself. Tommy Taylor. And he must have been looking for one of his own players there. All he found was Mickey Burns. This is Natras. Burns racing down the middle. Barraclough's come in as well. Oh, and a great shot by Natras. And an equally great save by Merlin Day. That really was football at its best. West Ham piling on the pressure. And then the ball is suddenly switched. The bad pass from Tommy Taylor. And it goes Natras and races for 60 yards and forces Day to a great save. Tommy Taylor, and Alan Taylor's got it. He's got Robson inside. And there's Bradford. Oh, what luck can you have? Bradford getting his head to the ball. And even now it's a goal kick. Bradford got his head to it. It seemed 1,000,000 to 1 on a goal. And there was Mike Mahoney falling, slithering, sliding all over the place, and the ball just hit him. Running off the ball by McCaffrey. Natras screening the ball with his body and now getting it back to Burns. Now West Ham could be in trouble. They are in trouble and 2 down. Cadell. And as the ball was played to Burns, he beat his man beautifully. Centred. Day only half punched it away, and when the ball was returned, there was Cannell. Ball returned by Gowling, and Cannell just heading it over the line to make the scoreline 2-0. Robson, not a good pass, easily intercepted by Kennedy. Burns flicked right off his toe by Frank Lampard at the expense of a corner. Since their second goal in the 67th minute, Newcastle United have really been on top. Craig, Gowling, and it's the 3rd goal. And as the ball came across from the corner, headed back in, and Nolte was there to put it 3-0. 11 minutes to go.
We go into the 2nd division for Charlton Athletics' visit yesterday to Newcastle. Charlton without Mick Flanagan, who's in dispute with the club, and without Derek Hales, who's injured, so they're a little bit under strength. But what an entertaining game it turned out to be. Covered by Tyne Tees Television, Roger Thames is the commentator, Charlton in the plain shirts.
Natras. Martin. Brownlee on the overlap. With in the middle. Shipley's with him, though. Still Brownlee. It's a good turn, and that's a penalty. That's a penalty. Alan Shoulder turned so quickly there, right inside the box, brought down immediately. There's no doubt about that one. That must be a penalty. Shoulder against Johns. No mistake. No mistake. Alan Shoulder's third goal of the season. He tucked it coolly in the bottom left-hand corner. Nicky Johns went the wrong way, had no chance at all. Peacock. It's a bit of trouble there. It's the equaliser. A slack bit of work there by Kenny Mitchell. Lets in Charlton Athletic for the equaliser. He'll be very, very annoyed with himself about that one. And it gives Steve Britt the chance to pull one goal back for Charlton Athletic. Mitchell with his free kick. That's totally wasted, though. Cut out by Brisley. Natras. Pushed into space for Hibbett. Brownlee going up outside him. Walker. Shoulder running across the box. Walker, will he try one? Can't get the room for the shot. Again for Brownlee wide on the right. Good pushing by With, no. Chance now for Martin. Oh, what a soft goal. Mick Martin gets the goal for Newcastle. It wasn't a particularly well-struck shot. Nicky Johns got down to it and it just bobbled over his forearms and into the net. Well, the crowd appealing for handball, but it's broken for Newcastle anyway. Shoulder now popping up on the left. Walker in support. Only got With ahead of him to aim for, but he finds him. Patient bit of build-up here by Newcastle. Martin the chance to put it into the box. Brownlee another chance. It's a nice 1-2 there. Brownlee, oh, Nicky Johns nearly let in another one there. John Brownlee shot from a very oblique angle and Johns was in the right position at the near post, but somehow or other the ball just slithered past him. Unfortunately, Dave Shipley was there. Kenny Mitchell just about wins that one. There's another foul there. Peter With, he's getting so used to punishment this season. He's such a willing worker. Shipley, the man tight on him, committing that foul. Walker chips it in. It's in. Kenny Mitchell looks delighted, and no wonder. Well, Nigel Walker's free kick floated in there, nice and high. Kenny Mitchell comes in, gets up highest of the lot, and that's it. 3-1 in the lead now. Now it's Powell. Getting the free kick, Brownlee penalised. Points with the red flag. Mr. Ray Fairley going on the pitch, telling him exactly where to put the free kick. Peacock with it. And it's in. Well, how did that one get through from Dave Shipley? Keith Peacock lifted the free kick right across that Newcastle defence. It came all the way, and in came Dave Shipley at the back and knocked his header back across Steve Hardwick. So, early touch for Nicky Johns. He's had an eventful first half, if nothing else. Now he's got the added problem of having to kick the ball into the wind. Does very well with that one. Conley, a nice flick for With. Shoulders in the middle. More support arriving through Connolly. With still has to turn this ball across. He does. Martin! That's there by Shoulder. Newcastle United get the second half underway just as they got the first. With delayed his cross, over it came. Martin knocked it back across the face of the goal. There was Alan Shoulder nipping in to score his second goal of the game. Shoulder getting stuck in there, winning that one. Yet again, Shipperley and With battle for it. Shipperley wins this time. Berry. Sure, Berry's on for the return if he wants it. Still Shaw in a bit of trouble here. John Connolly's with a chance. He's taken it! John Connolly, the scorer. Well, he was under pressure all the way as he came through there. Charlton Athletic got themselves in a muddle on the right of the defence, but John Connolly came away with the ball, shrugged off the challenges, and put the ball in the net. No trouble at all. Hibbett. Parkinson, the shoulder. Barton. Oh, then maybe we'll get to that one. Powell. Shaw now. And that's in! Well, that goal came just absolutely out of nothing from Martin Robinson. Full-back Shaw had the ball on the right, seemingly no danger at all, knocked it inside to Robinson, and he let fly, and that was in the back of the net.
But a 5-3 defeat for Charlton. We don't often see them on television. I'm just sorry for their supporters. We chose this particular day. Welcome back. Well, we stay with the top of the second division now as we come to Newcastle United against Queen's Park Rangers. Newcastle starting the day in top position, QPR just 2 points behind them. And that's a game covered by Tyne T's cameras with the commentator Roger Thames and Newcastle in the stripes.
And he curls it in. And Woods is forced to punch that one away as Peter With chases after it. Can't beat the second man. David McCreary, yet another big money buy. Peter With. Force deep. Finding Brownlee with a very intelligent pass. It's aimed towards Shoulder. Shoulder with a chance to lob. Oh, that's superbly done by Alan Shoulder. Well, that ball bounced awkwardly for Alan Shoulder, but he timed his lob and placed his lob to absolute perfection over Chris Woods, and it nestles in that far side of the goal. Shoulder. Brownlee pumping that one through first time. Hibbett. Oh, that's a fine effort from Terry Hibbett. Well, that one fell so sweetly for Terry Hibbett's magical left foot. First time shot, and again Chris Woods very sharply across to it. Shoulder. Trying his luck on the left-hand side. Still, well, that's nice control from Shanks to finally clear the ball for Rangers as they now mount this attack through Clive Allen. Goddard. And that one's in. Yes, it seemed to catch a deflection. Paul Goddard latched onto that one extremely quickly, got his shot in, and seemed to get a touch on the way, and it took it out of Steve Hardwick's reach. Cassidy for Brownlee, that's a good ball from Cassidy. Rafferty nodded it back with Hibbett now, a chance for the shot. Oh, another fine save from Chris Woods, and another fine shot from Terry Hibbett. He really hit that one cleanly, but again, Chris Woods was the equal of it and turned it away for the corner. That perhaps could be the spark Newcastle were looking for as Brownlee turns this one across. Curry. Curled into the path of Glenn Roeder. Now Allen. That's fallen for Goddard, now for Gordon Hill. And that's a goal scored by Glenn Roeder. And he looks absolutely delighted about it. And that was a very good move indeed from Queen's Park Rangers, ending with the cross from Gordon Hill. Roeder made the run through the middle and timed it perfectly. And that puts Queen's Park Rangers in the lead. Cartwright. Well, I don't know how long the referee's going to carry on. And he's pulled up play now for the free kick, and I would think he's going to try and do something about that dog. Who brings a dog to a football match, I really don't know. Well, whoever's dog it is obviously keeps him reasonably fit. Oh, it's a fine effort from Peter With. Ah, well, Peter With's tackle obviously took the steam out of him. And the dog gets the red card. Must be one of the first people taking off the St James's Park pitch, coloured black and white by a policeman. Play resumes now with Hibbett. And that's a goal from Peter With. Oh, what a beautiful goal. Terry Hibbett's free kick, he's delighted. And so too is Peter With. Well, he can catch dogs and he can score goals. Well, play restarted then. Maybe the Queen's Park Rangers defence lost concentration. Hibbett didn't. His free kick was perfect, and so too was Peter With's run. Still with Newcastle and Terry Hibbett. Tommy Cassidy now. Oh, that's a great effort from Cassidy. It's hit the bar. A beautiful shot from Tommy Cassidy, a shot out of nothing. And how unlucky he was to see it rebound off the crossbar. With, this is Rafferty, but that's straight to Shanks, and Rafferty's had another go at it. And Connolly's in there. Connolly against Wicks. Cassidy. Oh, that's a superb goal from Tommy Cassidy. Oh, what a cracker. John Connolly, his close controls played a part. It came over for Tommy Cassidy, and Wacky thumped that one right in the back of the net. With Cassidy. This could be dangerous. Allen for Goddard. It's an important tackle, and Cassidy's back there, but still it's not clear. And they've equalised. No, it's offside. And there'll be some scenes now. Allen looks very, very disappointed. But the referee blew immediately. The ball went into the net. Hibbett. Rafferty. Connolly. This is Peter With. There's a chance here if he can get his shot in. And that's number 4. And Peter With puts the lid on it for Newcastle. A little under a minute left. Again, Connolly comes on. A substitute, and his skill helped set up the chance for Peter With. He took his time, he found his spot, and he stuck the ball past Chris Woods. Terry Hibbett with this one. Cassidy. Oh, what a save from Chris Woods, and what a shot from Tommy Cassidy. And there's no end to the action this afternoon. A great shot there from Cassidy. And yet again, Chris Woods, who's had a fine game, pushed it over the bar.
A 4-2 win for Newcastle that leaves them then at the top of the second division table, 1 point ahead of Chelsea. Both Luton and Leicester lost yesterday, as did Queen's Park Rangers, of course. Birmingham City won, and you can see what a tremendous battle they're going to be in the second half of the season for those 3 promotion places to the first.
Sims was at full stretch then, and oh my word, Alan Shoulder must have felt that one from Mick Henderson, but well, it was an offence. I don't think it was in any way malicious, and Shoulder more shocked than injured, I think. But it does give Newcastle the free kick. Hibbett's taking it quickly. Oh, and it's there from Terry Hibbett. Eric Steele looks disgusted with himself, but Terry Hibbett delighted. They certainly took that free kick quickly, and they caught Watford napping as well. Hibbett ran onto that one and he meant business. It got a deflection off Luther Blissett. Harrison hoisting that one forward, but Johnson getting it clear. And Wharton deciding to take the safe way out. Midway through the first half, Newcastle leading 1-0, but it could be 2-0 now, and it certainly is. Bobby Shinton. So simply taken. Clark was challenging there, and it fell to Shinton. The keeper was out, and he finished that one off with total confidence. Hibbett looking for Ray Clark. Oh, Steele was in trouble then, and it was Sims who put him in it. Eric Steele could afford a bit of a smile at that one, as if he hasn't got enough on his plate the way that Newcastle have been hitting him. Steve Sims under pressure there, looping a header that Steele just about tipped over. Poskett now, that took a deflection, and they nearly missed it all between them. Unfortunately, it missed the goal as well. Fortunately for Newcastle, and Kevin Carr in particular, who came for that one and got in a bit of a mix-up. And you can afford to smile when the ball bounces wide. So it's a rare corner for Watford, which Wilf Rostron takes. Jackett's in there, and Carr did well. Carr did extremely well as Kenny Jackett looks for the opportunity to shoot. Carr was off his line. Train now. Handball by Ward, but play on, says the referee. He couldn't have seen it, and this could be a goal. It certainly is, by Malcolm Poskett. Watford pull one back with 2 minutes to go to half-time. The scorer, Malcolm Poskett, the former Hartlepool player. A messy piece of play by the Newcastle defence, and finally Malcolm Poskett was able to latch onto it and slot it past Kevin Carr. Poskett. Good tackle from Mitchell, but an unfair one, says Mr. Richardson. Certainly was a solid challenge on John Ward. Jenkins is looking for it. Oh, this could be it. Yes, just wide. Agonisingly wide there for John Ward. And the Newcastle defence were nearly caught flat-footed. Kick flung in deep, and Jenkins' challenge was enough to put them off, but it was wide. So a narrow escape for Newcastle at the start of the second half. Clark battling, Harrison pumping it forward, Martin working hard, shoulder challenging, Bobby Shinton breaking now through the middle. Has he got the control to take it up? It's gone for Hibbett. Oh, he really hit that one. And Eric Steele was glad to keep that one out anyhow. Terry Hibbett ran onto that one, as only he loves to run onto those shots. Sized it up and he really got hold of it. And Shoulder was sniffing around for the rebound. Hibbett, short corner to Shoulder, who gets the cross in himself. Jenkins won it in the air, Wharton, and that got a deflection, and that got a corner for Newcastle as well. Shinton on the near post there. Jacket with him. Shoulder with the corner. Shinton got a header to it. The overhead effort. Oh, that would have been a great goal from Stuart Bone. And that brings a smile from him as well. Not exactly renowned for his ingenuity on the ball at times, but there really was nothing wrong with that effort when the corner came across. Half cleared out and Bone making something out of nothing.
Pictures come from Tyne-Tees Television. Our commentators Roger Thames and Newcastle are in the stripes.
There's McDermott outside. Anderson steaming up outside him on the overlap. McDermott looking for Waddle. With Metcalf there, and he's put it in. That's an own goal by Stuart Metcalf. Tried to play his team out of trouble, but succeeded in doing exactly the opposite. Neat control, in fact, and as he tried to just chip it back to his keeper, he got it all wrong. Dermott, Varady was there. Donald trying to create something, has to wait for the support well to get a cross in. Away there by Rathbone. Still Newcastle keep the move going. Anderson, McDonald, Varady, and Varady hooks that one in for the goal. Quick to seize the opportunity there as Newcastle kept that move going. Played in by McDonald. Varady assessed the bounce accurately. That was a skillful little flick there from Ray Varady. Rovers still have the corner kick. Metcalf and Carr, and turned in there by Keeley, the former Newcastle player, and that at least will please him, and so it does. Metcalf with the corner kick. Keeley was up there. Carr never really gathered it cleanly, and Keeley was there to turn the ball home. Now McDermott, good save by the keeper. And has it gone in? Eventually there by Waddle. Well, really took an eternity to get in there from Waddle. And the drama of the moment, rather lost, was McDermott who fired it in. Geno got a foot to it, off the post, and just bouncing over the line there. Rathbone. Lowy to Rathbone. And we've got another one, and it's Keeley again. Well, that's a remarkable performance by Glenn Keeley, and what a remarkable end to a second half that really looked as though it was dying on its feet. That was a fine header from Keeley. He put that one away with no trouble. And it's 3-2 now, and there's smiles everywhere, especially on the face of Glenn Keeley.
Well, some really strange goals there. 3-2 it was to Newcastle, but they're going to have to settle for another season of second division football.